Hi, I'm Sean with Catalina Rug, and in this video we're going to be covering Kazakh rugs. So we'll be covering where Kazakh rugs came from originally, and then we'll talk about who makes these rugs and where they're made now. Also, we'll be going over some of the characteristics of Kazakh rugs, like their material, the colors, the different designs that they have. And we'll be looking at different types of Kazakh rugs because there are a few different types, and we'll be showing you some examples of those. So if you are interested in Kazakh rugs, I hope this video is going to make it helpful for you to see what kind of options you have and understand a little bit more information about them. So originally, Kazakh rugs were made by Armenian people in the Caucasus. And then later on in the 80s and 90s, Afghan people that were staying in Pakistan, they start getting inspired by these Kazakh designs and start creating them inside of workshops in Pakistan. Now, these Afghan weavers are highly skilled, and they were supplied by really good tools and material and dyes while they're working in Pakistan inside these workshops. And they really did their best to recreate these traditional designs. However, they start doing them in more modern colors that are more design friendly. Also, they start creating more like variations in the designs. So basically, they're taking an old traditional design and kind of modernizing it. All right, so let's take a look at some of the general characteristics that you're gonna see in these Kazakh rugs that are made by Afghan weavers. So the first thing you're gonna notice is that these rugs have a more antique look. And the reason for that is that the way that they're knotted and then the washing process that takes place after the rug is created makes the rug look really antique. And the reason is they're trying to stick with that traditional look and feel that they were originally inspired by. The next thing you're gonna notice is that most of these rugs have a low to medium pile. And again, that's because they're trying to stick with the antique look, which most antique rugs do have generally low to medium pile. Another thing is that the wool and the material they use with these type of rugs, they're always going to be high quality hand-spun wool. And when it comes to the knot density, that's where it really varies, and it will depend on the type of Kazakh rug. But generally speaking, whenever you have a lower knot density, the type of designs you're gonna see in Kazakh rugs are gonna be bigger and bolder. And as you increase the knot density, the designs are gonna be more detailed and more fine. But most of the designs in Kazakh rugs are gonna be geometrical and curvilinear patterns in some areas, but mostly geometrical. So in terms of colors, as we talked about, these Kazakh rugs come with more modern colors and a lot of different variations that are just going to be more design friendly and just softer and kind of have that antique look. The colors are made by vegetable dye, and they're going to be all natural. And what you're going to typically see in the field of Kazakh rugs is going to be this red orangey color, which is very typical. You're going to see a lot of those options. You'll also see rust in some of the types of Kazakh rugs, which we'll talk about. Also, you'll see cream. That's another very typical color. You'll see greens and blues, a little bit less usual, but you see that as well. And in terms of the highlight colors that are used in Kazakh rugs, there's gonna be peach, there'll be browns, also highlights of like blues and greens being used. But typically, the way that the designers go with the colors in these rugs is that you'll notice the field, it'll be red, but they'll use the opposite color when it comes to the medallion and the border. So if the field is red, they'll go with like a cream color in the border and medallion. So that's just something interesting to kind of notice as you're looking through different type of Kazakh rugs, is that how the color combination usually works. So not all Kazakh rugs are the same. There are different types of Kazakh rugs, and here we're going to break them into 3 different categories. So first you have just regular Kazakh rugs, also known as commercial Kazakh. Then you'll have the super Kazakh rugs, and finally the Kazak Azeri. In terms of the price range, you're going to have commercial Kazakh, usually the lowest, and then the Super Kazak, and then Kazak Azeri. And that's because that type of Kazak rug has a lot of variations in design and colors, and usually very high quality wool. So now we're going to be talking about each type of these Kazak rugs. So let's go over commercial Kazak rugs. So these are the type of Kazak rugs that you're probably going to see the most of when you're browsing around. And these Kazak rugs come with the lowest knot density and large patterns. And the large patterns actually work really well given their knot density. In terms of their colors, they're going to have more subdued colors and a pretty good amount of color variations to choose from. So next we'll look at the Super Kazak rugs. So as mentioned, these are the Kazak rugs that have the highest knot density. What you're going to typically see in these rugs is finer pattern, and that works really well because they do have the higher knot density. In terms of the materials being used in these rugs, they use really high quality wool that's almost silk-like. So when you look at these rugs, you'll see a more shiny, silky look. In terms of colors, you're going to get a good amount of variations, and again, their price point is kind of in the middle range. And then you have the Kazak Azeri rugs. So these Kazak rugs have similar knot density to commercial Kazak, maybe a little bit higher. However, what makes them really different is that they come with a lot of different patterns and a lot of different colors. Their design is actually inspired by Hari's Persian rugs. So when you look at these rugs, you're going to see some similarity to Persian rugs. And the actual pile size as well, it's going to be medium pile height, which is very similar to Persian rugs. In terms of the wool that's being used in these rugs, they're very high quality Ghazna wool. They're thicker, fattier wool, and the highest quality wool out of all three types of Kazak rugs are being used in this type. So this concludes our video on Kazak rugs. I hope that you found this video helpful. I invite you to head over to our website, catalinarug.com, and check out our Kazak rugs collection. You can read a lot more about Kazak rugs there. There are other videos for you to watch, and you could browse through our collection. We have all three types of Kazak rugs with plenty of videos to see more close-up of them. And if you're watching this video on YouTube, then I invite you to like, to subscribe, and comment below, and I'll see you in the next video.